this team at, given the loss in the SEC tournament?
I think it's good. I think they this team's always been positive and thinks they can win every game, which I like. I think they understand that we have to go back to work and get some practice time in and get better at some certain things. But I think they feel good about going into the tournament.
What about the coaches?
Yeah, this is our third season for us, and it's great. We took some time off, and I thought we needed some time off, and now we're doing some individual stuff and trying to keep their conditioning. And Saturday we'll go back to some team stuff. So yeah, we're anxious to see where we're going and get prepared.
Holly, sometimes after you guys would lose in a tournament in years past, sometimes you'd have some tough practices during this time of the year.
Yeah.
But did you feel like with your health and with your numbers that just wasn't a good idea?
Well, yeah, immediately I thought, damn, we couldn't. I thought we took some time off, and we're just trying to heal right now. And we're doing a lot of individual things, primarily with the defensive end. And then we'll start our team concept stuff on Saturday and go and work with our team. But we're doing it in groups right now, and I think it's an hour at a time, and then we'll go do some cardio, non pounding on our legs.
Did you feel that was really important to maybe limit the physical contact?
I did. I wanted us to stay in shape, but there was no way we could come back and just have a 3-hour full-blown practice because of we're just banged up right now. So I think it was important for us to get some time off and heal and get some rehab in, and then focus on individual needs that we thought we need to address.
Was there any updates on Izzy? Is she still rehabbing? Is she doing anything?
She's still rehabbing. She's not doing anything yet. So I think it's a day-to-day thing for her, and I anticipate she possibly will be back, but I don't know. This is the first time I saw her since we've been back just a minute ago, and she's still rehabbing.
It's March 14th, you play on the 23rd. I mean, that's where you really appreciate this time, don't you? I mean, that gives you time to possibly really get her back.
Well, see, in the past, sometimes it's a long time to keep these young ladies focused, but it's good. It comes at a great time for us, just because we need to rest and take care of some injuries, but still keep them fresh and keep them in condition. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to space it out and not just totally overwhelm them.
There's a lot of speculation, obviously, because we don't have much to write about right now. So everybody's looking at the brackets. What could possibly happen Monday? Are you paying any attention to it, or no?
I don't know what they're saying at all.
Most of them seem to have you a 3 seed. There's still an argument that you could be a 2 seed.
I think we'll probably be a 3, which is fine. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I remember talking to you in August, and I said that were you looking forward to hosting, and your remark was, well, we got to get in first.
Yeah.
You feel pretty confident now that this team has exceeded expectations to some degree, haven't they?
I think so. I mean, Marie, when we talked in August, we hadn't even seen them on the court. They looked good on paper, but we hadn't seen them all together, and they've really gelled and gotten better. The freshmen have stepped up. The sophomores have been great leaders. Our seniors have been great leaders. So it's kind of all come together in a positive way for us. So looking forward to the first and second round.
Holly, you had some down in Gwinnett. You had some foul trouble in both of those games. Is that something you address with these guys? Because I mean, maybe that's something. It's like free throw shooting. If you talk about it, it gets in their head. I mean, how do you address that or at all? Or
we address it, Dan, by all we've been doing. We're going to do the next 3 days is all defensive stuff on the court, all defensive individual instruction and trying to get us better individually on the defensive end. So that's all we're doing. So if that's the case, we are addressing it. Because we addressed, quite frankly, our defense and rebounding was not very good. Hasn't been good since we played Texas A&M here. Mm-hmm. And whether it was a let-up by us or I think they understand the importance of you've got to get stops. You've got to get stops because we were scoring just as well. We just couldn't get stops. So it was going to go down to the matter of who was going to miss. And we just gotta do those two things. We gave up too many rebounds. And
do you have to warn them about? I mean, there was a couple instances where, like, I think Massengill got a couple reach fouls. There were fouls on rebounds where it's the rebound's gone and somebody's. I mean, do you have to maybe remind them?
Well, we're watching film as well.
Okay.
So we're addressing it when we watch film and you know, was that a necessary foul? Was that a smart foul? You're reaching. Absolutely, we've addressed that. We watched films yesterday, today, and individuals with them tomorrow as well. So they're getting a lot of attention individually, and I think that's important.
Is it going to be weird to spend Selection Sundays somewhere other than Pat's house?
It will be weird. It will be strange. So, yeah, we're going to watch it over in the football stadium on the east side, and it'll be different, but it'll be fun for these young ladies to experience a Selection Monday and just kind of anxious to see where they send us.
Holly, was there any thought of still having it at Pat's? Was that not possible, or did they just want to have it on campus?
I made that decision. I just didn't want all the Pat to have the pressure of getting everything ready and have everybody over at her house. So that was a decision by myself. So trying to make sure taking care of her.
There's a lot of freshmen, on the team right now, and so they might not see the differences from last year to this year.
Right.
But for seniors like Mika and Spanny, how is this different? What are they going through right now?
Well, I think they understand that they're seniors, so they understand the importance of each day and preparing and getting ready. I think when you're younger, you don't necessarily relate to, well, this could be my last game, and I think they understand that the importance of each day, each practice, each moment that they can get better and help lead this team. So I think they feel what any senior feels. They got to come and bring it and play their best each game. So first game is the most important, and then you take care of business then, and then it's the next game. So I think they understand. They don't look ahead. They got to stay in the moment.
Couple non-basketball question. Pat's book obviously is selling very well, doing very well. The kids are talking about reading it. Are they any reaction from the kids to it?
They haven't read it yet. Well, they hadn't had the opportunity to get one yet, and but I think it's important for them to read it, to get to know a little bit more of the history and what all Pat did and the program did to get to this point. I think it's a valid history lesson for them, and one that they need to know.
One thing they may learn is that there's no way you will ever run them as much as Pat ran your team, will they?
Exactly. See, so when they get on that line and think that I've on my last breath and last leg, they can't run any more than our teams used to run. So I don't, it's kind of a get on the line. I know that's how Kyra feels too, get on the line, because if I made it through it, you can too.
Holly, have you been able to, I wanted to ask you to go back to that first game at Chattanooga. Have you been able to draw on that game throughout the year? Was that something that faded away after a few weeks or so, or were there things, experiences, lessons from that game that you think this team has drawn upon?
Yeah, Dan, I think our approach and our preparation for that game, I think we take our preparation a little bit more seriously. Our scouting report, we understand the scouting report a lot more. And I think we understand that we draw it to their attention that any team can get up to play you at any time. But it doesn't matter who you're playing. You have to bring your A game. You have to bring, and you have to be prepared. So we can get up for the big games, but we got to get up for the games that we're supposed to win, and we're supposed to take care of it. And if UTC didn't explain that to us, we got beat by that night a very talented team, and we weren't prepared, and we weren't prepared for the situation. So I think we constantly remind them of where we were and then how far we've come.
You think you're a better team now coming through the year for having that experience?
No question.
Right out of the gate. And if so, why do you think that?
Well, I think it got us a lot more focused in practice. It got a lot more focused in our team and our unity. We played our first 4 games, 3 of them were on the road. So I don't know if we would have won UTC, might we have not won at Georgia Tech or Miami. It got us really focused, got us focused in practice before the pregame practice. So it was a learning lesson for us. It really was, and I think we took it to heart, and we got better. So we played some tough games to start off, and that's what I was concerned about. But yeah, I think that we most definitely learned from it.
Will you bring up that UTC game next week, leading up to the first round game?
If I need to, absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to bring up. I want to keep it obviously positive, but we can spin it in a way where it's positive, and look how far we've come and where we need to go. So absolutely.
Thanks, Holly.